We're only a tiny part of this mesmerizingly strange universe, and during our limited lifetime, we only get to see a fraction of the mind-blowing stuff out there. But nowadays, thanks to the internet and cell phone cameras, we can enjoy some of the most mysterious things happening while sitting on our comfy couch at home. Once you see these videos, you'll also agree that missing out on them would be a huge letdown. Thanks to technology and immaculate timing, some people managed to capture these incredible things we're about to show you. From alleged unidentified flying object sightings to super confusing CCTV footage, we've got it all. So make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss out on the weird monkey face flowers and fluorescent dolphins. But before we begin, make sure you've subscribed to our channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on our upcoming releases. Space Station UFOs. Space enthusiasts think that this footage captured by a camera installed in the International Space Station is definitive proof of alien existence. This footage was released by NASA, and soon enough it was uploaded to many different UFO websites and became the hot topic pretty quickly. In the video you can see Samantha Christopher Eddy, an Italian European Space Agency astronaut, showing us how the window shutters at the space station are operated. But as soon as the shutter is down, several white glowy objects can be seen shooting away. This isn't the first time something like this was witnessed in space. A fleet of lights was previously seen passing like a fleet of ships arranged in a particular formation. However, experts believe that these were just ice particles or lens reflection. There could also be fragments of space junk or city lights from the Earth below. Someone also pointed out these could be lights being emitted by fishing boat fleets. According to NASA's blog, it's likely that fishermen were trying to lure the Japanese flying squid to the surface with help from bright xenon bulbs. CCTV captured strange creature. This security footage was filmed in Mexico. The owner of the camera claims that he himself witnessed this strange entity, and he can actually be seen at the very end of this video. The weird object can be seen descending from the sky, and just out of thin air a metallic object is seen floating quite close to the ground. It moves upwards after reaching the ground and then descends again. This object is apparently reflecting the lights from the surrounding street lamps. It keeps rising and falling in slow motion, and it seems to be shape-shifting. The murky lighting of the street and the below-average video quality also makes it look more eerie. Its behavior is consistent with a half-deflated mylar balloon and is probably still floating because there's still some helium left over inside. Tesla detects ghost. This video of a Tesla slowly making its way through a graveyard is causing quite a stir nowadays. In the screen you can see that a collision detection program of the car has spotted a ghost. This is what ghost hunters and paranormal activity enthusiasts believe. In the video, the driver of the Tesla is pointing the camera at the dash screen that functions to detect and display objects that the car could potentially hit while it's on autopilot. The purpose of this software is to keep the passengers aware of their surroundings even when they're not actively driving the car. In the viral clip, the system has seemingly detected a human shape and a dog up ahead, but when the camera moves to film what is outside the car, there's no one there. This isn't the first time a Tesla has detected mysterious figures that aren't visible to the human eye. Some people think the Tesla picked up the flowers on some graves and mistook them for a little child or animal. But one guy pointed out that the super strong sensors of the Tesla might be detecting the human anatomy of someone buried 6 feet under. However, the most reliable explanation is that the collision avoidance system of the car is malfunctioning. Chladni plates. It's not possible for humans to see sound, but we've found the closest alternative. There's one method by which this acoustic phenomenon is studied. This uses standing waves in a solid medium called Chladni plates. This special technique produces a pattern on the plates, and these plates reveal to us the physical nature of sound. We're all aware that sound moves through solids, liquids and gases in the form of waves. Back in the 1700s, Ernest Chladni, a scientist from Germany, was the first person to demonstrate that sounds traveled in waves. He devised a method to visualize the vibrations of sound. He also figured out a way to study the motion of vibrating plates. He did this using a metal plate, the surface of which was lightly sprinkled with sand. He found that the sound can produce sound patterns related to the physical dimensions of the plate. This is one of the earliest ways used by scientists to visualize effects of vibration on mechanical surfaces. The patterns vary with the vibrations. Nowadays, virtual imaging programs are used to study these patterns. Glowing dolphins. A photographer recently came across a beautiful expression of nature while he was filming the ocean at night. He recorded glowing dolphins swimming in the water close by. The rare footage shows the dolphin swimming among motion-sensitive dinoflagellates. These are a type of plankton that emits a burst of light when it's activated either by motion or a slight touch. These light bursts only occur for a fraction of a second, but when a heavy object like an aquatic mammal moves through the dinoflagellates, the light shows get more frequent. So technically the dolphins aren't glowing, they're just swimming amongst millions of bioluminescent microorganisms. Most bioluminescent creatures inhabit the ocean, but a few are land dwellers, like the firefly, foxfire, and various kinds of bioluminescent fungi. This light is produced by a chemical reaction between a compound present in these creatures and oxidative enzymes. Baby mammoth. While they were digging through the northern Canadian permafrost of the Eureka Creek, a front-end loader struck something they hadn't expected to find here in the Klondike goldfields. The young miner operating the loader had no idea he had discovered one of the most mind-boggling mummified bodies of an animal that lived during the Ice Age. He'd found an immaculately preserved carcass of a woolly mammoth baby. Experts believe this mummy is at least 35,000 years old. She has a trunk, a tail, tiny little ears, and even most of her skin and hair is also intact. Officials think it is one of the most complete mummified animals discovered in the continent. Further analysis revealed she was around 1 month old when she died. The miner hadn't imagined that just after 30 days of cutting out chunks of permafrost, he would find a 35,000-year-old baby mammoth. Monkey orchids. Often called the Dracula orchid, this plant has flowers that bear an uncanny resemblance to the primate it has been named after. The distinctly shaped petals surround a center that looks exactly like a smiling monkey. It is no doubt one of the cutest species of orchids. Besides the monkey face hidden in the flower, this orchid is also known for its sweet fragrance that it emits when in full bloom. It smells a lot like juicy, ripe oranges. Quite recently, fans of orchids gathered in Japan to see a flower display solely dedicated to these unique plants. In order to celebrate the Year of the Monkey, the Marine Science Museum held an exhibit dedicated to these monkey-shaped orchids. Unfortunately, these orchids are pretty rare and growing them isn't an easy task, especially in typical environments. Naturally, they only thrive in the cloud forests located in southeastern Ecuador, Peru, and South America at a height of around 6,500 feet. Quantum levitation. This strange video shows a puck that has been cooled with liquid nitrogen and is somehow repelling the magnets of the handheld device. It also portrays the magnet's angle that can be locked in a magnetic field. Next, we see the puck zooming around the magnets in a circular path, just like a maglev high-speed train. This process, called quantum levitation, uses the properties of quantum physics to levitate an object made of a superconducting material above a magnetic source, which is mostly a levitation track particularly designed for this. This works because of the Meissner effect, according to which a superconductor in a magnetic field also expels the magnetic field inside of it, thereby bending the field around it, so a superconductor puck will float off the magnet. Chinese river monster. The mysterious footage showing a weird, wriggly creature slithering in the Yangtze River has compelled people to think that China might have its very own Loch Ness monster. According to reports, it was as thick as an average adult person's thigh and approximately 10 feet long. It seemed like a powerful animal. Social media has named it the Three Gorges water monster because it was found close to the Three Gorges Dam. Some think the rising pollution caused this creature to be born, while others believe it's a mythical monster. The video of this strange creature went viral online. Scientists, on the other hand, think it's just a water snake or maybe a Burmese python, but the forest authorities have declined to comment on this. Mystery moon crash. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter took pictures of what looks like a crash site. These show wayward debris somehow punched two overlapping craters when it crashed into the far side of the moon's surface. This debris was traveling at a speed of 5,770 miles per hour. But how did this happen? Apparently, a mysterious-looking rocket smashed into the moon and left behind this weird double crater. A US astronomer and software developer who tracks near-Earth objects had predicted that space junk was about to hit the far side of the moon in a few months. Some think it was the second stage of the Falcon X rocket that SpaceX launched back in 2015, but later data and analysis indicated that it could be a chunk of the Chinese spacecraft launched back in 2014, but Chinese officials tend to disagree with that. So far, there are many theories, but no conclusive evidence as to what hit the moon. According to LRO, the eastern crater is 59 feet wide and the western crater is 52.5 feet wide. Underwater roads. This video shows what looks like a path paved along the ocean floor. It looks a lot like old roads that were paved with cobblestones. So what exactly is this underwater road doing in the protected group of Hawaiian Islands? Researchers discovered this while studying the geology and biological ecosystem of seamounts and underwater volcanoes native to this area. This dried lake bed formation confused the researchers. Some thought it might be the road to Atlantis, but it has actually been identified as a fractured flow of a volcanic rock. It was formed in a high-energy eruption when rock fragments settled on the seabed in this strangely arranged manner. It's only evident of ancient active volcanoes. The brick-like patterns can be attributed to the heating and cooling cycles related to the eruptions. Rivers collide. This meeting of waters in Brazil is a one-of-a-kind natural phenomenon that amazes people around the world. Coffee-colored water converging with black tea-colored water in order to form the most mesmerizing hydraulic spectacle we've ever seen. This water is around a dozen times greater in quantity than all of the water in Niagara. The sediment-rich coffee-colored water runs down from the Andes Mountains, and the black tea water flows down from the Colombian hills and jungles. The black water is sedentary-free and contains decayed animal and plant matter. This point where the two rivers meet is called the Rio Negro. These rivers flow parallel to each other within the same channel for miles. This boundary is visible from space as clearly as it is from the water surface. The two eventually merge to become the lower Amazon River. Fake houses. This appears to be a charming little neighborhood with pretty houses, but wait till you see this. Nothing is what it seems here. None of the houses you see are real. The simulation hypothesis proposes our entire existence is a simulated reality like a computer simulation, the inhabitants of which believe that is real. Is this a glitch in the Matrix or is it something else? These rows upon rows of fake houses of windows with stickers. It's a Matrix-like situation, or is it just a detailed movie set? Some set designers might have been tasked with designing a fake neighborhood for a movie, and this is the result, a row of terraced houses that aren't real. It could be a real estate trick too. Some property developers build fake homes that look real in order to improve curb appeal. This is called false housing, and it is a real estate trick often used. Giant pyrosomes. Sometimes even marine biologists come across creatures they cannot explain, like these giant pyrosomes, also known as the unicorns of the sea. They can grow up to 60 feet in length and are bioluminescent. They glow, and the way they glow is the basis of their name. In Greek, pyro means fire, and soma means body, so their name literally means fire bodies. Their piercing blue-green light is visible from more than 100 feet away. Scientists have revealed that one long pyrosome is actually a large collection of clones where each pyrosome is capable of creating a copy of itself and adding to the group. These are colonies composed of hundreds and thousands of zooids who work together to propel the colony through the surrounding water. Each individual can be regarded as a complete tiny animal that continuously filters water in order to absorb nutrients from it, flush the waste, and contribute to the well-being of the superorganism. It has been revealed that these clones also have a microscopic spinal cord and are classified as vertebrates like humans. The colony of pyrosomes is shaped like a tube which can be up to 6 feet in diameter, with one pointing end and one opening on the other end. Quite an amazing creature, right? Before we move on, here is another image that created quite some controversy. These images look a lot like something called Venom we saw in the movies. Some people in Brazil have been spreading rumors that COVID vaccines may cause this kind of condition in humans, which is definitely a hoax. A fast-growing black fungus consuming your body isn't going to happen if you get a vaccine. But we have to admit the thought of being consumed by black vines strangling our bodies is pretty terrifying. However, vaccines are generally safe and being put out there after rigorous testing, and they're not going to turn us into hideous creatures going around chanting, "I am Venom." Tarantula sheds. If you ever come across a tarantula lying on its back, make sure you don't touch it. Why? Well, because it's extremely fragile at this point. This seemingly unnatural position is because the tarantula is beginning to molt or shed. Most tarantulas molt while lying on their backs, but some might even do it on their sides. They shed the old exoskeleton and the spider busts out from inside it. The heart of the spider pumps a lot of blood from the abdomen to the old exoskeleton, thereby increasing the heart rate markedly. The increased pressure expands the body, pushing on the old exoskeleton until it cracks and falls away, and the transformed tarantula appears. The spider does most of its growing immediately after it loses the exoskeleton. Their new covering is super flexible and soft, leaving the tarantula vulnerable. Molting takes between 15 minutes to 24 hours, so if you have a pet tarantula, watch out for it and don't touch it while it molts. Did you enjoy watching these strange things? Which one is your favourite? Tell us in the comments and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. See you all next time.